Alright everyone, what is up? My name is Flame070 and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. It has been roughly 3 weeks since Season 8 has launched and it's been kind of a roller coaster of a ride. And now that Apex is officially 2 years old, we have a new collection event in store ending. So please make sure to grab that. Heirloom is, the cheapest it has been since they've been doing these events. So make sure to capitalize on that if you really want to catch your shiny new heirloom. But in today's video, we'll be going in depth as how I can educate you and tell you how to master the new legend Fuse and how to be successful in Season 8. Sort of like a Fuse review, if you will. So let's not waste any more time, and without further ado, let's get to it. So to begin getting better with any legend, you must understand a legend's passive, its strength, and what it's meant to bring to the table. For Fuse, the ability to carry extra grenades is really a callback to early Apex. When every legend could carry these many grenades, it was not uncommon to see a bunch of grenades flying everywhere. But it's not just about spamming grenades, it's about using them in a smart way. In an ideal situation with a purple bag, you should try to carry at least 6 grenades, 2 of each type. This amount of grenades is enough to disrupt the enemy flow, whether either coming at you or you're trying to disrupt them, from chasing you in a fight. But understand what you can do with each grenade because each grenade has different value. With Arc Stars and the inclusion of increased accuracy with Fuse, you have a greater chance if you practice long enough to stick your enemies more so than any other legend, which is great. This is perfect to really deter an assault and allow you to control the amount of enemies coming at you. If you can also work on landing your shots, you can easily bring down an enemy. But even if they get away, most players will back off and give you the breathing room you need to capitalize, whether for retreat or to attack. For frags, I like to keep them to open up all the loot bunkers that are lying around on Kings Canyon, so that's kind of nice. Honestly, if you're Fuse, this should be your go-to job since losing a grenade is a non-issue. But grenades and thermites together are great for crowd control and getting enemies out of cover. Use the increased accuracy to either get them to leave and be exposed or hold them in place. This also works well if you use your ultimate time into that, so there's a lot of synergy you can use together to really get them out of cover. This allows your teammates to get the upper hand and shoot them while the enemy is either scrambling to, provide cover or they're trying to rotate out of that position. However, the minute you notice a Wattson, any of these efforts are wasted, so before beginning your grenade spam, watch out, pay attention to that, and it might save you some grenades for future fights. Okay, so now let's talk about the Knuckle Buster. This concussive explosive doesn't pack a lot of heat, but its range and speed allow you to control your enemies' rotation or get the upper hand in 1v1 fights. In early drops and fights, it is great to try and get this stuck on your enemies since they do stick to surfaces and begin your onslaught of bullets. Honestly, Fuse is a really scary legend to fight right off the gate because of this ability. So if you like to be aggressive, use this to your advantage. Practice being accurate with it. If you practice with your Arc Stars, you'll be, just as accurate with your Knuckle Buster. Yo, this thing travels. This is really, really important to point out. You can fly this across the map. It's crazy the range. This really allows you to disorientate far away enemies, maybe ruining their fights by distracting them, thus giving you the time to close the gap and finish. Or if you want to be sneaky, since these things are so loud, you can trick enemies into that fight while keeping you safe. Making sure to kind of be that light and moth effect where you kind of trigger third parties coming in because everyone will gravitate towards it. So that way in the area before entering it, you'll kind of know how many teams you'll have fighting up against. So it's a really good trick and a good tactic to get kind of those sneaky third parties out of the woodwork. This tactical is really good to disrupt and breach into houses and buildings, so use this in combination with all your grenades to flush enemies out or keep them in place enough and to give enough time for your teammates to kind of come in and finish the job. Ultimates are abilities that really change the flow and make or break you when it comes to winning fights. With that being said, it is always good to know which legends benefit from carrying ultimate accelerants. Fused is one of these legends. The Firebomb is a great weapon to use frequently, so this will give your team more chances to succeed in fights. As an offensive attack, it really allows you to trap or at least burn your enemies, giving chance for you and your team to lay the bullets and do the damage needed to take them down. A well-placed offensive bombardment will disrupt the enemy's retreat, and that is very powerful. Though I personally think this ultimate is a great defensive tool as well. The fire is a great deterrent for enemies pushing, especially in buildings, which, by the way, you can launch this in buildings. Keep in mind though, when you're doing it, you have an increased chance of getting hit with your own fire, so keep that in mind. Use at your own risk, but either way, the times you use it inside will save you from that, so just something to take a note of. Having all this fire in such an enclosed space really can save you in a tight spot. To sum everything up, Fuse is a really good legend and he's super fun to use. I can expect some tweaks coming to him in the future, which is always a good sign from a legend release, because it is always better to come out strong than weak. Fuse does need a bit of skill to really master and use, and when mastered, you can become a very deadly legend on the field. I hope you learned how to use Fuse today, and if you liked my review and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. My next video will cover Fuse's viability in ranked. I release videos on a weekly basis, so I hope you can learn something when you are here. If you want to catch me live and talk Apex or gaming as a casual gamer, I'm on Twitch Monday and Wednesday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to catch you there. I hope you're all doing great, and until next time, adios!